Hey everyone, this is your stimulus check update, second stimulus check update, and stimulus package update for Thursday, October 29th. This video is for those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits, and for anyone else that's wondering about the second stimulus check and the stimulus package negotiations. I hope you're having a great week so far. If you missed my video on Tuesday, I went over the Social Security changes for 2021, including the cost of living update, or the cost of living adjustment, which is going to be 1.3% for next year. So when you're done with watching this video, go ahead and watch that video on Social Security updates for 2021. And I'll leave a link to that in the description below, but you can also find it on my main channel page. One of the things in that video I talked about was the cost of living adjustment, or the COLA for 2021, and many people were asking me how much they would be getting in 2021 versus their payments now. So I created a calculator on my website, justinbakerlife.com, and I'll leave a link to that calculator in the description below. So if you're wondering how much your benefits are going to go up for 2021, go ahead and go to my site, go to that link that I have in the description below, justinbakerlife.com, and you will be able to enter in your current monthly amount for Social Security or SSI or SSDI, and then it will calculate how much it is projected to go up for next year. Now, 1.3% is not a huge amount, but it will at least show you what you expect to receive starting in 2021. Let me know what you think about the calculator in the comments below, and let me know if there's any other calculators you want me to create for you. I want to welcome back those subscribed members of my channel. Thank you once again for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you that haven't subscribed, or this is your first time to my channel, my name is Justin and I do stimulus updates, but I also do updates on Social Security and SSI, SSDI, as well as teach you how to save money and earn money. So if any of those topics interest you, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if you find this content helpful, be sure to hit the like button so that YouTube will share this video with others like you. So what is the latest news on the stimulus check negotiations? Last week, Nancy Pelosi was continuing to express optimism that a stimulus deal would be reached before the election. Well, we are now 5 days before the election and there is no stimulus deal in sight. The chances of one happening are very slim. Nancy Pelosi and Steven Mnuchin are not even meeting to discuss the next stimulus package at this point. The House of Representatives has been on recess for weeks and probably almost all of the month of October. The Senate is back on recess now, starting this week, and both of them are not set to come back until later in November. Despite all of this, neither side is willing to say that the stimulus negotiations are over for good. In fact, both sides are saying that we are going to be getting a stimulus check or a stimulus package done after the election. President Trump said after the election, we'll get the best stimulus package you've ever seen. And Nancy Pelosi also expressed that a bigger deal could be coming after the election as well. After hearing optimism from Pelosi for the last couple of weeks, excuse me if I don't really believe what she is saying. The truth is, Congress has failed the American people. There are millions of people that are struggling, millions of people that are just trying to make ends meet right now, and Congress has decided to bicker and fight and play political games, all the while you, the American people, are struggling and just waiting for some sort of help and relief. Previously, Nancy Pelosi said that no deal was better than a smaller deal, and it sounds like she's going to get her wish, at least for now. President Trump has repeatedly called for more stimulus, including more stimulus checks to go out to the American people. However, Nancy Pelosi was specifically concerned about President Trump sending out a stimulus check with his name on it before the election. The Trump administration had previously offered $1.8 trillion to Nancy Pelosi to see if they could broker a deal. That deal would have included stimulus checks, it would have included unemployment benefits, it would have included PPP funding for small businesses, it would have included funding for state and local governments, for schools, for coronavirus testing and tracing, as well as many other provisions that would have helped out the American people. But despite multiple pleas from her own party, Nancy Pelosi rejected that $1.8 trillion offer. So where do we stand now? Well, basically, if President Trump wins the re-election, and the House of Representatives is retained by the Democrats, and the Senate is retained by the Republicans, then we are going to be in the same situation we're in now, at least from a power standpoint of the parties with each branches of government. Congress will be back in session later in November. However, what will be their motivation to get a stimulus package done? Previously, their motivation was to look good for the November election. Well, with the November election passed, will they have the motivation to help out the American people? Because in my mind, the politicians are there to help themselves first and foremost, and to help the American people second. And that's really frustrating and really concerning to me. The politicians that we vote for and send to Washington, we do that so that they can represent us, not so that they can line their pockets with kickbacks, not help themselves with better opportunities because they're in Congress or because they're in Washington. They are there to serve us, not the other way around. And I think the problem is they forget that a lot of times. If Nancy Pelosi retains her seat as Speaker of the House and President Trump wins re-election, will they be able to broker a deal sometime soon after the election? I'm not so sure that they will be, and so that concerns me. There are millions of Americans that are either out of work or that are just struggling to get by and have had their hours cut back, and many other issues that are going on with the American people right now, that they're having trouble to pay for food, pay for housing, and all the other basic necessities of life. At this point, stimulus checks do not seem to be coming anytime soon. I'm sorry that the leaders in Washington could not come together and get you guys stimulus checks. From what they were saying, both sides wanted to send stimulus checks, but because of other issues and other provisions that they wanted included or didn't want included, they couldn't reach a deal. And because of this, you and many of the American people will have to suffer because of that. I do think that President Trump would have sent out stimulus checks via executive order if he had been able to figure out a way to do so. As I've talked about before, Congress controls the power of the purse, or basically the ability to spend money. President Trump is very limited in what he can spend without Congress's approval. I'm pretty sure he had his legal team look over all of the options for sending out a stimulus check via executive order, and that they never found any way to actually do that. I do think President Trump would have sent out stimulus checks if he could, but as of right now, stimulus checks are going to have to come with a bigger package deal. Economists have warned that without more stimulus, we could be in for some rough times. And I think many of you, unfortunately, are already feeling some of those rough times. I've read your comments and I realize that many of you are struggling and hurting and that you need some sort of assistance right now. I wish our leaders in Washington could set aside their differences and just get a deal done. I will continue to bring you the latest stimulus news, as well as keep you up to date on all the changes for Social Security and anything else that I may seem as important to keep you up to date on. Make sure you take care of yourselves. There are resources out there where you can find help. There are many churches in each of your areas that offer assistance even to those that aren't members of their congregations. So reach out if you need help. Search Google and Google will actually show you some options that you have for food in your area or churches in your area that may be able to offer some sort of assistance. In addition to this, I would check out your local schools to see if they are in need of a little bit more work. I know that some of the schools in my area are looking for more substitute teachers, are looking for more people to help on recess, and more people to help in the lunchroom. So check out the schools in your area to see if you could get just a side job that's a few hours a day or something like that. I mean, there are other options as well, but make sure you take care of yourself. There are resources out there to help you. I will leave a link to some food pantry options in the description below. I've left these before and they've been in my description for quite a while, but I will make sure I leave those below. I'm so sorry that many of you are struggling, but I do know that you can make it through this. I know you've made it through tough times before, and you will make it through these tough times as well. Thank you once again so much for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you do have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again soon.